The first common mistake I see a lot of people make when setting up their own sachet water factory is that they don't seek enough information. Now, this covers a lot of branches. In short, the entire project as a whole, if you don't seek enough information, you're on a road to failure, because there are some things that you need to know, some things you need to implement, some hidden information that are out there, but it's just that they are not accessible to you, or you don't know of them that you need to know. And by knowing all those things, it will help you set up a standard water factory, and it will help you avoid some losses in some areas. Let's take, for example, now we are thinking of setting up a water factory, and a land is presented to you that you should purchase this land for the project. Or maybe you have a land, maybe by inheritance or something, you have a land on ground and you want to set up a water factory there. Now, if you are not familiar with those best practices, those things you need to do in order to set up a water factory, those things you need to look out for on that particular land before you set up a water factory, there are some errors, like heavy errors, that you might make. For example, I believe I've also shared it on this channel before. There's a place around Nasarawa State that we wanted to use for a water factory, but we ended up discovering that that land, there was no water there. In short, we're about to make purchase of that land when we decided, okay, we should have surveyors come and check if there's water in that land. That's for drilling of borehole. And behold, when they came, that was when it was discovered that there was no water on that land. So by seeking information, by knowing things about the building structure, depths of borehole, maybe some unique issues that you have in your own terrain. Maybe there's a graveyard nearby, or there's a sewage line or something. By seeking out information and knowing some of those requirements of NAFDAC, it will help you set up a standard water factory. Except if you don't want NAFDAC to approve your factory, that's when you will just go for like a substandard factory. But not seeking enough information is one common mistake I see a lot of people make when they go into this project. The next error again, or the next mistake which I see some people make when setting up a water factory, is they borrow early or they borrow in excess. Now, borrowing early or excess borrowing is when you seek out funds from different individuals, from different people, in order to achieve the goal of the project. I've had people contacted me in respect to their own projects, and they told me that the major way which they want to fund that particular project was through borrowing. And the truth is, borrowing, although it might sound as a good idea since you are going into a profitable business like this, but on the long run, it might come up with some challenges when it comes to paying back. This business is a business where for the initial 6 months to 1 year where you set up operations, you are trying to get familiar with the market. So the funds which you'll be injecting to this business as at that time will be to start up and boost up the business. Now, except if the people borrowing you this money are people who expect you to refund it maybe after some periods of time, maybe after some months or years like that, you might find it challenging and difficult to try to set up or start up your own factory, and at the same time trying to settle off debts of other people. So starting up a factory with excess debt is not a good way to start, and is one common mistake I see a lot of people make when they go into this project. By the way, if you've watched the video so far, don't forget to leave a like on the video and also subscribe to the channel. This encourages me and helps me to make more videos in the future. The next mistake again, which some people make when embarking on this product, is poor production practice. So let's say, for example, now you've set up your own factory and you are waiting for NAFDAC approval, or you've already gotten your own approval. Some people start to reduce or cut down on their standard. They don't get enough water filters, they don't replace them, they don't carry out some routine production practices which they are supposed to do for the factory to remain standard. So by cutting down on those practices and not maintaining the standard in your factory, it makes the factory start losing customers gradually. And before you know it, even the people working for you will migrate to another company. There was a time when somebody contacted us that the quality of our water was dropping. So we had to promptly find a solution because they discovered that there was some kind of taste in it. and we had to trace the error to know where it was coming from. It was coming from our treatment plant. So some adjustments and some maintenance were made in order to maintain the standard of the water. Now, by maintaining the standard and the quality of your factory and maintaining good production practices, it will help you stand the test of time in the business and the overall satisfaction of your customers and staffs. Now, the next thing I see most people get wrongly when they embark on this project is they don't pick the right location. Now, this also comes in terms of marketing, in terms of the durability of your equipment, and so on. Now, when you pick a poor location, it stresses your vehicle when you go out to supply. When you pick a poor location in terms of power now, it stresses your equipment when they bring light and take it, or when the current is not enough. When you pick a poor location, it makes it difficult for your staffs to even come to work. So this affects the general mood of your staffs and the motivation you get when it comes to running of the factory. By picking a good location, this will be the best way to go. So by avoiding picking a weak or poor location will help you improve on the quality of your factory. And the last point I have here is making wrong purchases. So making wrong purchases, this actually affects the factory or the investor. Let's say you buy the wrong set of equipment, or maybe you go for fairly used equipment and they give you some bad equipment, or maybe you buy some equipment and in the process of installing it, or you hire some staffs to work on it, the machine actually develops some issue. So making poor purchases like this actually affects the factory and is a mistake which a lot of people would want to avoid. So in terms of buying vehicles, in terms of buying things for the factory, materials, if you don't buy the right things, if you make wrong purchases, if you don't know who to buy from, that's the best suppliers to buy from. You might end up investing your money in a place whereby you can't be able to recover it. So by following all these things which I've mentioned in this video gradually, I believe if you intend to set up a water factory, it should help you understand some of those things you need to do and where your mind should be when it comes to setting up the overall project. Don't forget to like the video and also subscribe to the channel. And if you are new to the channel, you can review my channel. You can watch my other videos, the older ones. I've shared a lot of information there in regards to set up a water factory. So I'm sure you will find those videos very helpful. And if you intend to have like a one-on-one coaching session where we'll discuss specific about your own project, I'll leave my business WhatsApp contact on the screen so that you can contact me. And as a part of the one-on-one coaching program, I share a business plan, a building plan, NAFDAC checklist, and some other resources too that are relevant to proceeding with the project. I do charge a fee though for it. It's for all those resources and the materials, and we'll be discussing specific to your project.